Welcome to Partner News Live. Today, September 11, 2024. I'll start by telling you that unfortunately our guest from ATEL is unavailable today, but he still promises to be with us next time. We have a packed episode for you today anyway, including visits from Cory Hinkel and Melissa Rogers. But I can't continue without acknowledging today's profoundly sad anniversary. Just to reassure everyone, I will not be sharing any photographs or videos from that day. Those of us who saw live on television the horrible events unfold can never unsee these horrific scenes. Shelley, for younger folks who may find it difficult to internalize the enormity of the attack, at Pearl Harbor, the death toll was 2,400 people. On 9/11, there were 3,000 victims, not including those who later died from illnesses brought on by inhalation of toxic circumstances. You know, it was an awful day, and I'm sure everybody, including you, Shelley, can remember where you were on that day.
Oh, definitely. It was like any other day. It was during the week, and honestly, I believe it was on a Tuesday. How I remember that. Getting ready for work, had, Good Morning America on, like I did every morning back then. And I heard the news about a plane, and they going into one of the World Trade Centers in New York. So everyone, of course, you're frantic trying to figure out what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You figure it was a mistake. Did somebody have a heart attack running, the plane? They didn't know, literally, the news didn't even know what kind of plane went in. And before I left for work, unfortunately, I saw the second plane go in live. And that's when it hit the reality of what we had in the back of our mind, all of America, all of the world, actually. It was intentional. And at that point, lives changed forever. The only great part of the whole thing, it did bring the United States together, unity, and, we were all the United States. But I'll never forget the looks that I saw on people. That I didn't even know them, but I could feel what they were feeling, and they might have felt what I was feeling.
I understand. It was actually the year before I moved to the States, but by a remarkable coincidence, I had some leave, and my kid brother was able to get time off work. And so we actually met that very morning in Birmingham International Airport in the Midlands of England. And we did a little puddle jumper over to Dublin, Ireland. And we arrived at our hotel just after afternoon. And bear in mind that Dublin, Ireland would be five hours ahead in time of the East Coast. And so we essentially went to the front desk, handed them our suitcases, went straight back out in the centre of Dublin and jumped onto the red double-decker bus with the roof missing. And we put on our headphones and we listened to a recording. And as the driver drove us around the city, it was quite fascinating. But as the hour or so came to an end, we noticed, although there were a few cars, there was nobody on the sidewalks. It was very strange. The city seemed to have emptied. So we got off the bus and we started walking along the main street just beside the River Liffey. And we're looking at the menus in the doorways outside, because, of course, all the pubs there sell food. And I think it was the third one where Kid Brother said, yep, this is the one. And we walked in and there are all these people standing like zombies. It's quite bizarre. Not a soul was speaking, and they're staring over my right-hand shoulder. And as I walked into this eerie place with my brother just behind me, I started to ask the barman what everybody was looking at. But I never finished my sentence because they were watching the one television up on the wall of my shoulder. But what was very moving over the next few days, Shelley, was that we were in Dublin, and the most westerly airport is Shannon on the west coast of Ireland. So as President Bush got the aircrafts that were not quite halfway across the Atlantic to turn around and come back, all the aircraft started filling up Shannon Airport until there was no room left on the taxiways. So after that, the next most westerly airport was Dublin. So over that evening and into the night, Dublin filled up with people of all nationalities, but specifically, particularly with Americans. And everywhere we went, every table was taken, and there were just people in tears. So, we were as sensitive as we could be over the next few days, but it certainly was extremely personal and very, very moving, even though we were in Dublin, but amongst so many people who clearly suffering. Listen, with that, let's get back to work-related things. I know that you have 4 offers to share with us. Can we do what we've done the last few times? Let's go over to Cory in just a moment, and then I'll come back to you toward the end, and we can hear
that would be great, Neil. Yes, that would be wonderful.
So as I promised earlier, Cory Hinkel, our Senior National Channel Manager, has been waiting in the wings to talk with us on this sad day, but nevertheless, life must go on. So Cory, welcome.
Hi, Neil. Thank you for having me here. And like you said, on a sad day, but again, we honor those that we have lost, and we thank everyone for their efforts throughout the years. 23 years later, here we are.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been such a long time. So, Cory, you'll remember that last time we had Jason Ross on from Pixel, and he was talking about the new Pixel 9, the 2 that had just come out, the 2 that are just about to come out, and of course, they're loaded up with Android 14. But of course, there are other flagship smartphones already loaded with that, including, of course, the Samsung and the Motorola's and such like. But we just heard just a couple of days ago that the beta version of Android 15 is now well advanced, and I was hoping you could give us some early hints and tips of what we can expect to see with Android 15.
Absolutely, Neil. This is a great time for the Android world right now with the Android 15. We're expecting a stable build of the Android 15 to be rolled out to some of the Google Pixel devices as soon as October. Probably all 4 models going down to the 6 series, right? So if you'll remember back in 2021, Samsung promised at least 4 years of dedicated upgrades to the Galaxy devices. So we're also expecting a new iteration to be rolled out to all the S-series devices, going back all the way to the S21 and S21 Fan Edition, FE edition, along with the tablet. You'll see the Galaxy Tab S-series all the way back to the S8. The A series will also get this update for select devices such as the A33, 34, 53, 54, 55, and last but not least, the 73. We're also anticipating the Motorola Razr and the Edge 40 and 50 series to get the upgrade, along with several of the G series smartphones.
Good. This is all good to know, Cory. Can you let us know some of the features that we're anticipating seeing added to this iteration?
Yeah, absolutely. There are some notable ones that we've taken note here. We're reliably informed that Android will prevent some, or hopefully all malicious apps from reading sensitive information in our notifications. Security is higher than ever now, with more and more AI and other things now trying to penetrate and get our information. So that's huge. Second, this is a very nice feature that I like myself personally, partial screen recording, which this will allow recording of the screen of a particular app or window instead of the entire visible screen. So that's different. That's a new game changer right there that a lot of people will see some true value out of. Yes. We'll also see edge-to-edge visibility. We're used to watching videos on full screen. This is bezel to bezel, but now other apps will be able to use the full width and height of the screen to display more content or just make it bigger so you can adjust accordingly. Then with one tap, you'll be able to open 2 apps in split screen mode. So that's a full new feature that's rolling out as well. We're also told that there will be more support for satellite connectivity, right? So obviously we know certain billionaires are out there putting out satellite connectivity. However, we don't have the full details just yet. Plus, we're still waiting clarification on when Verizon will roll out satellite texting, which I'm sure you probably heard on a certain conference a handful of days ago. There's also improved do not disturb rules that will be very customizable. That is, you'll be able to specify under what circumstances you do and do not want to be disturbed, such as emergency calls from a family member, work calls, maybe after hours, stuff like that, right? Also, while muted, you'll be able to choose rich vibrations to differentiate notifications by the channel generated the notification. So based off whatever app it may be, whether it's X, whether it's Gmail, whether it's Instagram, whether it's LinkedIn, right? You can customize your vibrations to suit said apps. And then last but not least, there are also new controls to further enhance the control of cameras, such as boosting the light levels or other special effects to help enhance all the photographers out there. And right now, those are the highlights that we've been able to read up on and get some details on. But as we know with Android 15 and every other Android update that comes out, there are tons of new additional features that will be added as it goes.
Fantastic, Cory. Listen, thank you so much for that. You know, it's just occurred to me that you and I haven't actually, usually most years we meet regularly. We haven't actually seen each other in person since March in Las Vegas. My goodness.
I know. It feels like it's been forever, Neil. But at the same time, it's slap of a finger. But unfortunately, we spread across the country here, and we got to get together, man.
Yeah, well, let's do it in a couple of months' time in Scottsdale, because we're both going to the Channel Vision CVX Expo, in Scottsdale at the Talking Stick Resort. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Cory. Listen, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for having me. Take care, everyone.
And as I said earlier on, Melissa Rogers has been waiting online. Let's say hello to Melissa. Hey, how are you today, Melissa?
Hello. Good. How are you, Neil?
Doing okay. Taking into consideration the circumstances of the anniversary, do you remember what you were doing? Of course you remember what you were doing on September 11th.
Yes, I was a much younger version of myself in school and working at night. And I remember I got a call from my boyfriend at the time and said, you need to wake up. Everybody's being sent home from work. You need to turn on the TV. And I turned on the TV before the second tower got hit. And then I was just sadly glued to the television the rest of the day. And then the rest of life went on.
On a happier note, you've been with us now for a little over 5 weeks, and
Yes.
It's been fun talking with you. And of course, I met you just a week or so ago in person at Texas Motor Speedway. I mean, tell everybody, what kind of things you've been doing for Connectus over these last few weeks.
So far, I'm working as a project coordinator primarily with the marketing team. With Rick Stapp and Neil and then Noah, of course, but also I have touch points with other members of the team. And I'm really working as a liaison to help them get things accomplished that they need to get done, coordinating travel, setting up projects, making sure that we are in touch with our team that we communicate with. So the job is new and the job will grow, but so far that's what I'm doing.
Fantastic. And I believe you've become our primary liaison with Team Texas now.
Yes, definitely, to make sure that they get what they need from us and we get them what they need. So it's a great working relationship for both.
Great relationship, and they're really interesting, happy, very positive people, very glass half full type people.
Yes, they are. They're a delight. The stars are great people, and Mandy, great people, all of them.
Yeah, and I know also that you've taken on board two particularly large jobs. You are planning for Scottsdale Talking Stick and the Channel Vision CVX show that's coming up in just 2 months from now, isn't it?
Yes, just 2 months. A group of the Connectus Wireless family will be in Arizona. I'm going to make sure that they have everything they need and everything is set up and good to go when they hit the ground at the expo. And then also further down the road, helping facilitate, coordinate, and plan the event in Las Vegas in March for channel partners.
You're being very modest about channel partners. I know that you are in the advance party, so you're going to be there making sure that all of the riggers and the electricians and such like put the things in the right place, and with the booth facing in the correct direction. Yes.
Yes. Doing those kind of things I feel is really in my wheelhouse. I look forward to making sure that everything's set up so everybody is successful. So
fantastic. And I understand that you and your husband just moved recently. You're in a new place just now?
Yes, we're in a high-rise in downtown Dallas, moving from being in the suburbs in larger square foot homes for 20 years, and now we're in this great apartment, and we have quite a view.
Yeah.
And we're right near the American Airlines Center where the Mavericks play. I can see a couple of great museums. We're near great restaurants, dining, and just some really neat places that downtown Dallas has to offer.
Yeah.
So it's been about a week and a half, and we're adjusting, and the change is pretty cool.
Fantastic. Are you a Mavs fan?
I am a Mavericks fan. I like sports, that's for sure. We used to years ago hold season tickets, but not anymore. But, they're right across the street. Maybe that'll change.
You may well too. Hey, you were saying you're right there in downtown. So does this mean you can walk places?
I can. I won't walk everywhere, but I do have the capability to walk to a grocery store if I needed to, walk to the dry cleaners, to the corner store. I'm close to the Katy Trail if I want to walk my dog outside. So the Katy Trail is really neat. So I definitely have the ability to not need to use my car as much, and that's nice. I don't think I've driven it in 4 days, which is incredible. That's incredible.
Excellent. Hey, Melissa Rogers, really glad to have you on board, and thanks for joining us today on Partner News Live.
Thank you, Neil. I appreciate it.
And so now it's time to go back to Shelley. Shelley, I think you have 4 offers to tell us about today.
Yes, running through the last. That's all for today, Neil.
Thank you, Shelley. And I've got a few more things to share with everyone who's watching. It's fall enrollment time again for Total Mobile Protection, TMP. If you need a refresher, go to our YouTube channel and search for Total Mobile Protect from Asurion and CPNzone to watch my interview with John Hack. Also, remember you have access to Verizon's Partner Marketing Builder, where you will find a gigantic library of collaterals to share with your business prospects, including these 4 PDFs that you can actually download and send to them or share with them. Coming up in the fall, we will have a subject matter expert to tell you all about the new Verizon Complete offering that you can sell to your medium-sized prospects. It's a curated rental service where your client receives a smartphone, business unlimited plan, MDM, tech support, damage repair and replacement, and onboarding for a monthly per seat basis. We'll also have that ATEL expert to tell us about their wireless router next time. And we're also lining up an expert to tell us about the roadmap for rolling out Verizon's satellite texting services. So keep watching this space. My thanks to Cory Hinkel, Melissa Rogers, Shelley Stapp, and to you for watching. We'll see you next time.